Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha Pi Omega, and Greater Germanic Reich. So before I go to bed I want to record one episode because I'm interested in seeing what's going to be brought to us in the future. I've actually, before I started recording while my tea was brewing, I looked at some of the focuses, and I think we might want to look at these ones next, because they give some interesting options and growth of GDP in many of our territories. It's kind of interesting. Though on the other hand, the fate of our conquests are also interesting, but they don't really bring anything. They just give you some base stability and some stuff into our rice commissariats. I think that the events are going to be what's going to change the structure of our rice commissariats, so we should consider that. I haven't really checked much on the army reforms, but we'll see. So I'm currently I'm not sure if we're gonna finish this one or this one first too. Quite honestly, this one seems really fast. It's like 14 day. Oh god, these are actually kind of long, some of them. We'll see. As they say, we'll see. Anyway, the naval reform is continuing nicely. I'm really happy about that. Are we? Yeah, we're doing just the destroyers now. So probably in the next episode we'll be able to start forming our navies with the Leopold Whale territory that we have gained. What was it called? Leopold Verwaltung. Okay, Leopold Verwaltung. We might actually have to create yet another fleet that's going to be stationed there, so that changes our plans a bit, but we'll deal with it. You know, with the fact that we have 44 dockyards, we can be happy because nothing is really going to stop us from building up the fleet, even if we need to build more. Speaking of which, okay, so let's put them where they belong. I'm gonna put them up here and here because I didn't plan to build more dockyards, but with again with the fact that we will need to have yet another Hochseeflotte. This one is going to be Südost Flotte, and this one is going to be Südwest, and here we'll have the Atlantic Fleet, the Baltic Fleet, and the Black Sea Fleet. And it's going to be a mess to think about, but we'll manage. Have you guys... no, you still haven't arrived at your destinations, but at least you guys are where you're supposed to, and you received your equipment. Good. So fund the KWG. Oh yeah, we read this one before, so we get yet another slot, or haven't we? Wait, I'm confused. Oh no, we read this one, okay, we read this one. So we can now continue with the supremacy or bust. Our direct competitors are already making great progress in many fields of research. The Amerikaner, the Japanese, even the Italians are ahead of us. We can't remain idle or bound by our own fear of the future. We need a great effort, one which will lead us towards the new discoveries as soon as possible. By investing considerable amounts of resources, both financial and political, into our finest research facilities, our scientists will be able to at least partially fill the gap with the rest of the advanced nations of Earth, until we can finally be on the same ground once more. We'll achieve supremacy, or we'll fall trying. Forward for progress. Okay, these are really nice bonuses. And we got yet another slot here. No, I could go with the resource gain efficiency. So let's get that one. Still 518 days, but we'll just do some research on that, and then we're gonna continue with yet another. Okay, speaking of which, We have some... Oh, we have some cruisers here. I forgot about these. Those are... Yeah, those are heavy cruisers. Okay. Do we have admirals here? That's Deutschland and Zeven. Do we have them in here somewhere? No. We don't have them anywhere. Okay, so there's not gonna be anything that we can do with them, to be quite honest. So we're just gonna put them as a... Okay, you know what? Actually, these guys, we already know about what we're gonna do with them, because they can't be upgraded. And if we have them drilling at this point, so we can start creating the Baltic Flotte, I think, because that is going to... I mean, the heavy cruisers and these 20 ships can be the Baltic fleet in its own right. So for ein synthetic oil investment. So I say, let's pull you back, repair you, and once you are going to be repaired, we are going to decide how we're going to use you, because each one of these is actually a separate ship with different stuff. So some of them have torpedo attacks and mine-weighing, mine sweeping. Some should have some depth charges, I think. So yeah, we'll deal with the Baltic Sea Flotte now. But that actually brings up a point that we do not have any heavy cruisers available. Now we have the S-Class, which is a light cruiser. So if we wanted to modify you to a heavy cruiser, we would actually need to put a heavy cruiser battery there. Well, it would actually be enough to put it like this. And then maybe switch one of these for heavy cruiser battery. Yep. And I could keep the rest the same. So this is an S-Class. And we will call this one... we have the Adler, so let's call this one... No, Fogo class doesn't sound right. Those were called the Zeven. So let's call this Theodore class. And this will be a heavy cruiser. Yep, it's a new type of heavy cruiser. And I don't want the... Where are you? This is the white cruiser? Yeah, the S-Class is no longer outdated. Or it was never actually outdated. The fact that we just modified it is fine. And let's just check. So you guys... No, we don't have... Wow, this one, Admiral Shearer, is actually completely useless. Wide attack. Is this even... Damn, that's such a waste of... Well, it is... It's such a weak ship. It's actually weaker in many cases than our current destroyers. Which is funny when you think about it. Okay, so you guys are in a port. So, let's actually look at you. And we'll make you Flotte, yeah. Baltic. I think Baltic is spelled like this. The Flotte. Will it be together? I'm not entirely sure, but I think it would be. And now we need to split you. So let's just check. Okay, supremacy or bust. What I need to check here is if any of these ships do not have mine laying. Nope, they all... Okay, you don't. You're a depth charge 1. So you're gonna be assigned as a separate one. Okay. Torpedo attack. Torpedo attack. Ah, you're also having depth charges. Where were you? This one, Hamburg. Okay, so Hamburg will be also assigned to this one. Okay, any more? Nope. Okay, so seems like that's all. The rest of them are mine layers. Okay, so we'll have 2 ships of... 2 hunting ships or scout ships actually. And you guys are going to be split into units of 6 ships. And we'll have you as mine layers. Basically. Okay, and you, considering you have depth charges, I would really like to pair you up with these cruisers, but they don't really have... Well, they can protect you, so at least they can stay with you. And you will be stationed in St. Petersburg. Actually, you will be stationed in St. Petersburg. You will be stationed in Königsberg. And you're gonna be stationed in Schleswig-Holstein. Okay, so that's one of our fleets done. The weakest one, basically the reserve fleet, or the fleet that we don't know what to do with. It's basically the fleet where we will retire our ships when we don't need them. They could use a bit more ship hunters. I might assign some destroyers with depth charges, the older Zerstörers, or remake them so they would have depth charges in case any subs would penetrate this deep into our territory. So this gives us resource excavation technology, industry, and electronics 150% research bonus twice. That is really good. So now let's go with the military one. Establish Reichsamt für Militärforschung. While our research aims to cover all fields of human knowledge, both civilian and military in nature, it's evident that we need to establish a strong and efficient military research department. The Reichsamt für Militärforschung, or Reichs Military Research Bureau, will be a centralized office tasked with coordinating and subsidizing all kinds of military innovation, from common guns to the last frontier of computer and electronic espionage. To this end, the RFM shall keep contacts with the major military organizations of the Reich, from the Ministry for the Defense to the Secret Service, so that it may cater to the exact needs of our armed forces and our subtler means to defend the fatherland. So we're gonna get a new modifier. Good on us. How's the upgrades going? 4th of March. So that will show us... Okay, 24th of March. 14th of March. Okay, so an upgrade takes here roughly 10 days. A movement in flames. His heart was pounding with fear and forehead brimming with sweat. The operation has been a stunning success throughout. The guards were looking away when he infiltrated into the nearby area, and thank mercy it seemed like the residents of the house were too busy chatting while he lockpicked the door in the back. He had also managed to narrowly dodge the cameras placed throughout, and with soft footsteps brought his way down to the basement. The entire process took much longer than he wanted it to, but nobody had an interest in going down to where he was. Eventually, the whole room was almost filled with explosives, placed carefully by gloved hands, and Agent Red repeated the steps he took before. Oh, we're trying that operation again, and this time we have succeeded, it seems. Exiting out of the house and once again narrowly escaping the vision of the guards. When he was out of sight, he wanted to start sprinting for his life, but relented. Instead, he pressed down on the button on his detonator and heard the relentless roaring wave of noise that hit his back as he turned to an alleyway that enveloped him into the darkness of the city. Operation successful. Now to report back the R&D. Cool. Infrastructure investment. Let's do it. So the Baltic Seeflotte is being led by Admiral Wilhelm Elm. Is that right? Do we not have someone better? Because this is gonna be torpedo expert. No, silent hunter, sea wolf, ice water, blockade runner. Yeah, mine layer. Okay, so and concealment expert. So you are the one, Gerhard Wagner, right for this fleet. The reserve fleet, I mean. There is no shame in commanding older ships. Okay, you guys are now at full force. And you guys have also arrived. No, one of you have, but the other one hasn't. And quite frankly, we should fortify these areas a bit. Let's build 4 forts. Because I mean, you have nowhere to retreat, so if this goes sideways, it's going to be an issue for you. So let's just make this a priority. I know it's gonna take a bit of time, but it should be really fast. Yeah, first ones are gonna be done in just a couple of days. And they are going to really well protect our bases here. And which port? Port Louis, yeah. Port Louis has 4 naval base. Agency infiltration upgrade has been finished for the intelligence agency. So now let's modernize the cryptology department. And actually, as is usual, yeah, we can't. I don't think we'll be able to get anything from the Ordnungsstadt. Yeah, you have nothing. And I don't think it's wise to do anything there. Okay, let's send you in here and you in here, because these guys are now a big issue for us. And they're pushing Finland really roughly. Okay, we have some free production units. So let's put them on civilian industry. Yeah, you're gonna be done soon. That is nice. Okay, considering that we actually have some of these ships already upgraded, it might make sense to split you. Okay, so I wanted to have, I think that Europa, no, which was it, Weser. It's actually kind of fast. Yeah. So Weser and Europa, the oldest and the newest, are going to serve together. Because that is actually not a bad idea, because you have the biggest amount of aircraft, and you can cover using the fighters. So I like that. So let's start putting you into a new fleet, which is going to be, no, you guys belong here, but Adler and Vesser were supposed to be separated. So you guys, okay, Gunther Luther, because we have, okay, and you get cruiser captain and search pattern. That's not bad. And flight deck management, let's give you that. Not a bad captain. And Flywater, air controller, cruiser captain, search pattern. Yeah, that's not a bad commander for the Atlantic Flotte. Propaganda campaign ended, so we can start a new one, the State of the Reich. Reformist launch campaign. Hey, we are reformist now. Nice. And what's going on here? So Bernford Bayer falls ill. Okay. Memorandum on the Boer Republic. South Africa. Oh. Wait, no. Boer Republic. From Karel Uwe von Hassel, Reichsprotector von Congo. What? Reichsprotector von Congo. This is a blast from the past, I think. To the Führer. Development on the Boer Republic. Following the resignation of the Albert Herzog as a result of internal discontent within the Herzige Nationale Party, due to his closeness with the deceased Reichskommissar Hüttig, the parliamentary party has designated Peter Wilhelm Botha as his successor. This development is positive insofar as Botha is recognized as the leader of the Germanophile faction within the HNP and has requested, through my office, the official readmission of the Boer Republic into the Einheitspact. Oh! Boer newspapers have largely attributed Botha's victory to the widespread sympathy that the electorate still holds towards the Reich for its role achieving Boer independence. This has successfully divorced the image of the reviled Hüttig from that of our own as far as they are concerned. Oh, white citizens over 21. Electorate. Okay, so Boer Republic joins the Solverein. Nice. The Boer Republic rejoins the pact. Following the collapse of the Hans Hüttig's Reichsstaat, the Boer Republic emerged as one of the few states whose borders and political order were clearly defined. Having re-established ties with the outside world, the state gained international recognition with the backing of the German Reich. In exchange for said recognition and facing mounting internal and international pressure for his collaboration with Hüttig, President Herzog agreed to resign, with Peter Wilhelm Botha being appointed as the new president. A fierce Germanophile, memories of the Reich's vital role in the South African War played a crucial role behind his victory. In fact, right after assuming office, Botha officially requested the Republic's membership of the Einheitspact to be restored, an offer graciously accepted by Germania. Okay, cool. So, welcome. Good. So anyway, where were we? Oh yes. Okay, so Atlantic. I'm not sure if you can call it Flotte on it. Wouldn't it Flotte? Atlantic Flotte? I think so. But again, my German isn't the best. Anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll fix it when I notice your comment. So you are going to be a navy, and you're going to be stationed in Wilhelmshaven. And as you're one of the major fleets, you should get adequate support. So do we want to put on these two 2 across refit. 27. Okay, let's put Hyperborea and Rudolf von Zabutendorf as next 2 ships that are going to join. So we'll have 2 carriers and 2 battleships in there. And now what about the light cruisers? Where do we have the light cruisers? So those are carriers. Actually, we have Europa here. And you. Yeah, there's not a big difference between these. So let's always have Europa and Radar and Europa and Radar. So we know that we want to have part of them in here, and we'll split you into 2. So Europa is going to be serving with Radar, and De Grasse will be serving with Adolf Hitler. Okay, so you are going to be Südostflotte, and we'll need 700. Nope. Some superior tactician and Seawolf. Okay, let's give you Lone Wolf and Smokescreen Specialist. Why not? And I'm gonna join the Südostflotte, which is going to be. Actually, let's give you the 2. Oh, we get 1 Tula here still. Okay, the Hindenburgs are fairly slow. What about the Bismarcks? Slow as well. Okay, so this Tula class refit will need to join you guys, cause okay, yeah, that sounds like a plan. So the Tula will join the Atlantic Flotte. Where is it? Here. And the 3 Hindenburgs are going to serve with you, and you 2 will serve with you. Okay, and your Südostflotte, and you will be stationed in Port Louis, and you guys are going to be Südwestflotte, and you are going to be stationed in well, it's not Leopoldstadt, actually it's Cabinda, I guess would be the name. Okay, but you need a good commander as well. Torpedo expert, concealment, no, those are submarine hunters. Contributor, yeah, we got these guys. Concealment, pocket run, yeah, we don't have anyone here that would be that good. Fleiswater, oh hey, cruiser captain and search pattern, okay. So that guy is actually pretty good. Armin Zimmerman is going to command this fleet. Nice. Okay, so we get commanders for all 3 of our fleets. But that doesn't really explain where we have the cruisers. Oh, here they are. Okay. Yeah, I split them. Okay. So here we have the... We have the H Köln K-class. Oh wait, they're supposed to join these guys. So we have 5 K-class cruisers. Okay, and then we have 9 P-class cruisers. So that's 14 together, if I'm counting correctly. That's a rather uneven number. So the 9 can be split into 3s. and you can be split. Okay, you know what? I think I know how to do this. So 3 of you will join you. 3 of you will join you, and the rest will join you. And considering the Atlantic fleet is supposed to be our strongest, you're gonna get 3 of these K-class, and you will join. Actually, you will join here, and you will join here. Okay, so the Atlantic fleet is going to be our flag fleet. I mean, it has the Adler in it, so that actually makes a whole lot of sense. Okay, that deals with the cruisers, and now we have the unfortunate situation with destroyers, frigates, and corvettes. Those are going to be a mess to deal with, but I'll deal with it. Also, that reminds me that we have no... I forgot about the Black Sea Fleet. Jesus. Okay, the Black Sea Fleet will now be limited to small ships, and I guess as we strengthen our 3 fleets that we have here, Atlantic, Südost, and Südwest fleets, we are going to phase out some ships and create a Black Sea Fleet then. Damn it, that actually really sucks. What can you do though? What can you do? How's the economy doing? The debt is slightly increasing, I guess because we have been spending money. Yeah, we spent some money left and right, so that increased the debt a bit. You really need to get the inflation under control. I mean, we're already trying to curtail it, but it's not working really well, unfortunately. You get 1 million units of fuel. So, we add Reichsamt für Militärforschung, which grants root-out resistance, mission effect plus 10%, air doctrine, land doctrine, and naval doctrine cost low by 5%. Hiring spree or salvage Wunderwaffe designs. Really? The last year before Hitler's death saw the failed development of the Wunderwaffe projects, gargantuan, unbelievable weapons which, in the eyes of the main proponent Hermann Göring, would have magically annihilated all the enemies of the Reich. Exploiting Hitler's senile conditions, and with the support of the powerful military, he wasted an incredible amount of money desperately trying to make them work. Of course they never did. When our agents captured the laboratories dedicated to the Wunderwaffen, they captured the blueprints of several theoretical designs, and even some prototypes, failed, of course, and brought them to us. We'll of course get rid of everything, as our resources can surely be better spent on more productive research, but some of those studies show promise. Some of their theories about electronics and energy propagation could be what our scientists need to make a breakthrough. As they say, waste not, want not. So we get 3 times 50% research bonus for infantry weapons, support artillery, armed technology, helicopter, and aircraft. Oh, nice! That's actually really good. That is really good. Okay then, and I think that's all for this episode. What I'm actually gonna do here is I want to start drilling our Air Force. Because we didn't have enough fuel before, and now we do. So we can be a bit... I mean, it's not wasteful. It's just that we can use it. So let's see how much they will need. Air 3000. Yeah, okay. We're bleeding out a bit of fuel. You know, nothing really dramatic. So cool. The fleets are being set up. We have the U-boat fleets as well. I just need to decide what to do with you once all of the upgrades are done, which is not going to take a whole lot of time. We're already putting some of the S-classes in production, and I think we ought to put the Fyodor class now as well. And we'll probably put some... This is 10-10-10, so I might start producing some of the nuclear submarines as well. Who's left to stand? Okay, so type 101 class. And let's read this, actually, let me just put this into, oh hell. Okay, and 2 more military factories then. I am a happy man. Do we need anything really? I mean, yeah, we always need more anti-tank. Who's left to stand? Lucas knew about it. Everyone did. It was televised the whole damn day and the day afterward. About a house that had a freak accident, right when the big shot leaders of Antifa were meeting up. And of course, the police investigated it. How couldn't they? Lucas was waiting to hear the results about how it was set up by the government, about how they'd stamped out democracy to uphold the Nazi regime. But nothing happened, and that bothered him. He knew all too well what was going on, and certainly the rest would too, wouldn't they? It was plain in sight, clear as day, black as night. But when he showed up to protest at his college that afternoon, most of his colleagues weren't around with him. Only a scant few were scattered around the campus, holding signs and waving fresh flags that spoke about the incident at the house. That wouldn't have brought him solidarity if it wasn't that... That would have brought him solidarity if it wasn't that so few were around to share the message. Instead, as he stood and boldly proclaimed that it was all a sham, that the investigation was a cover-up, that Albert Speer and his cronies didn't have a care in the world for the value of democracy, nobody except the allies around him listened, and from what he could tell, nobody cared either. Are the people really fooled that easily? Well, I mean, it's Antifa, what was it, Antifa, what was it here? Reichsbanner. Oh, here they are. Antifaschistische Aktion. Oh, they got 2.23% support, so you can't really be surprised. Cool. So anyway, we've dealt with the navies a bit. We'll still need to distribute our main assets, which are the destroyers. We need to build a huge amount of light and heavy cruisers to supplement them. We'll probably need to start producing destroyers as well. We'll have 4 leftover dockyards once these projects start. But then again, we're building a couple more, so we might have a line building up destroyers as well, and start maybe phasing out some of the older ones. Too bad we can't sort these guys by... No, I have to split them afterwards anyway, by type, but we'll see. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. I'm heading to bed, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. So till the next one, you guys take care.